Hey Planner friends, how's it going? Thanks so much for stopping by my channel. My name is Ryan and this is A Man with the Plans, and we are back in a place I didn't think I'd be headed back to, my 2018 budget notebook. As you can see, I'm currently in my 2019 one, which I have over here. Right, you can see a link to my January budget and all those good things, or my starting financial picture. I'll have those linked somewhere else. But I wanted to close out using this book. We have a bunch of notes pages left. And I wanted to kind of do a little bit of an analysis about sort of how 2018 went in terms of debt and in terms of spending and all sorts of other stuff. So the first part of that is what I have right here. It's the 2018 debt paid tracker. So what you'll notice here, and I'll zoom you guys in so we can go number by number, but what I did here was I took all of the amounts that I paid for my loans for student loan, my car loan, and then I had a credit card. This was a baby step before I had before I started my channel, which was in June, by the way. For those of you that are here, we'll do a quick intro. My name is Ryan. I am a budgeter and a planner. I'm currently on the Dave Ramsey baby steps. Step number 2 is where I'm at, and I am a single adult living in Minneapolis, Minnesota, making one income. Just all those things that are helpful. And so for me, I will also just say that this has been interesting to watch, that there's been a lot of good takeaways from this. There's also a lot of areas where I could probably improve. So what I did was I took the months out of the year, I color-coded the ones by quarter. I might do a quarterly spend analysis. I just wanted to see how this matches up with my quarterly debt report videos. I'll leave one of them linked somewhere up here. But so, looking at this, I actually saw a video by Wendy Valencia a while back showing undebted.com, and they have a similar like snowball overview of this where it has each of the debts laid out and it kind of shows them this way. And I thought that was interesting, and I wanted to take that approach to how I set this up. So I just used a notes page in the Erin Condren, just one of these, and after laying some washi across the top, which I now realize is not centered, but whatever, I went ahead and I looked at the payments I made to the one credit card before it disappeared, my student loan number 1, my car, and then my second student loan. Interesting stuff to think about here, so you'll see them here, and then I did a little bit of analysis down here around sort of my best month, my worst month, my average payoff, and then I did some totals along the sides here just because I thought it was interesting. So without further ado, let's zoom you guys in and we can talk a little bit about how this year went. There we go, that's perfect. Alright, so January. We started the year off with a vengeance. I had my side hustle income really helping to work for me there, so I put $535.50 towards my first baby step, and then I paid the minimum payments, right, on my student loan number 1, my car, and my second student loan, which is way larger than this one. In February, I got my tax return, which clearly was pretty hefty. You'll notice I was able to pay off my credit card between my tax refund and my... So you'll notice February, I had a really good month. I had my tax refund, which was nice, and I was able to pay off my credit card remaining balance, which was $5,634.43. And then I paid the minimums, obviously, on the rest of that. So total for this month was $6,470.43. The total for January was $1,371.50. So, as you'll notice, I zeroed out the rest of this baby step, this debt here, because it's gone, right? Woohoo! And you'll notice here that there are some months where I start to pick up and lay into this debt, which is cool. So going into March, I put $478 into my student loan. The minimum payment was $100. So I was able to do a bit more, obviously not as much as these 2 months, but my side hustle that I used to only do ended in February, so I didn't have that extra income to toss, which was a bummer. Still paid the minimums on both my car and my student loan for a total of $1,214 put to debt in the month of March, which is cool. I had some birthday money, which helped out too. I think my birthday is in March, if you're curious. April, moving into quarter 2 of the year, I put $250 to my first student loan, and then the minimums the rest of the month for a total of $986. So not my best month. I kind of wanted to keep it over $1,000 every month, but hey, you know what, that happens. So then the next one is May, and I only put the minimum payment that month. I must have been not really taking my budget super seriously or having some sort of overage, which will be nice to go back and check this year to make sure, oh, did I miss my Amazon Prime membership, or did I miss something else, right? Those are the things that you should be keeping track of, and that's why I have a budget like this. So that total was $836, which is the minimums on all of those. However, You'll also see in June, I came back with a vengeance and I put $900 to my student loan, number one, and then minimums for the rest. You'll also notice that here, my minimum jumped from $385 to $461, almost a $90 jump. That's because when I got my student loans into original repayment, I was part of that like graduated plan. So every 22-ish months or 2 years, around then, my payment goes up. So I think in 20 months from now or something like that, my payment will kick up again to $530 something. My hope is that we won't have to even worry about that, because once this one is done, we're gonna be throwing it all at that guy. Anyway, let's keep it moving, but I just wanted to acknowledge that change. So for a total for June, it came to $1,712.34. So made up for May in spades. I will also say that June and November are those lovely, wonderful, super cool 3 paycheck months. So if you plan ahead and you get your expenses down pat, you get to use that extra payment to really be able to lay into your financial goals, whether it's baby step 1, that $1,000 emergency fund, whether it's 2 for a debt, whether it's 3 for getting that emergency fund topped off, or whether it's making another house payment or 529s for your kids. Whatever it is, those 2 times a year where that happens are really fun. I'll link a video up here over to Budget Girl. She has a video somewhere, if I can find it, that talks a little bit about how she budgets for a 3 paycheck month and all that good stuff. So moving on, so we wrap out Q2, we move into July. Also in June, I guess we can talk about, I started a YouTube channel, which is fun because it has no startup costs, right? I had iMovie on my Mac, I had my planners that I already bought with all the stickers that I was already spending all my money on anyhow. And then I had my phone, and I was using my iPhone for the longest time to film videos. This little fella right here. And so, you know, it's been so fun, and actually starting in December, I was actually able to make a little bit of side hustle income from it, which is really nice. So I thank you all for watching. It really means a lot to me, and it's fun to see the channel grow so much in just 6 months time. So thank you all for watching and giving me love with comments and all that good stuff. It's been great, and I'm really happy that we have kind of a fun community going here. So shout out to all of you guys. I would not be doing all this and having as much fun along the way as possible. Anyway, let's move it right along. So July, we had $500 to my student loan, number one, and then minimum payments the rest of the way through for a total of $1,312.34. August was also the same amount of $500, making our total the same at $1,312.34. September, remember that I was planning on moving at this time, and so I was renting a moving van and all those things. I moved at the end of September, so I think part of my budget was impacted by that, which sent me back down to minimums only that month for $912.34. However, in October, I got my budget back on track, and I was able to throw $550 at my small student loan, making my debt total payment that month $1,362.34. So that meant that my debt total for this loan here was $1,173.78. And I knew that we had a 3 paycheck month for November as well. And so I felt a little ambitious, and I said, it's within striking distance. So I made one gigantic payment in November and paid off my first student loan. Now, I will also say that I believe I did not stick to my budget when I went to New York, and so I think this impacted my December payoff, which is why you'll notice this didn't change. Just something to keep in mind there is something that I need to work on and figure out, is that if you're so close to finishing something, you know, it might actually, you might over budget and overspend, and that was, I think, what happened there. So what I should have done was probably split it in half and done a chunk in November and then a chunk in December and be done. But hey, you learn from it. That total for November then was $1,986.12. And then December, right, so we have nothing here, and then $351 here, $461 here, making $912.34. What I did do already is I already added a monthly payment that's a minimum to this, which is kind of the snowball rollover, right? So this is auto deducted from me every 2 weeks, and then I threw in an extra $100 payment to make sure that that snowball is rolling over. And then anything else I have left over, gravy to throw at my student loans. So now we did the totals by month, but I wanted to do the totals by debts. I thought that was interesting. For me, for the Chase card, thanks to my awesome tax refund and other judging income, I was able to pay that off in February. Total spent on that one is $6,169.33. my first student loan that initially only started at a $7,500 loan, but because of interest ballooned to like 10 grand at one point. I spent $4,751.78 on this one. And then for my car, $4,212. And for my largest student loan that is currently sitting around $26,800, I paid $5,154.38, making my debt snowball journey for the year of 2018, total amount paid to debt, $20,287.49. Holy moly, that's a lot of money put to debt. Now, on one hand, that frustrates me because this one I made choices, right? All of these are results of my choices. What could I have done with that money elsewhere? I don't know, that's a down payment on a house. That is a really nice emergency fund. That is a whole bunch of other things, right? On the other hand though, the fact that I was able to buckle up and get all of this done, pay off this loan completely and this loan in 1 year, this repayment plan was going to like 2024. It was kind of crazy. And the fact that I got it taken care of in 1 year now makes me feel a lot better. I will also just say I got my year-end tax return info about interest, and because of the fact that we were going at this so much beyond the minimum payment, I only paid about $130 in interest this whole year on this loan because interest wasn't able to accrue, which is kind of neat. Which just reminds me of how much money I saved. So while I'm kicking myself for having these in the first place, I'm really glad that I did it. And then I also, the last one here in terms of interest was around $2,200, which is crazy because out of the $5,000 I paid, $2,200 of it was interest. Are you serious? Really laying into this and that final baby step when you have on average $1,200 thrown at this every month, you're just gonna knock it out of the park. Moving down a little bit, I just looked at some of the best and worst. My best month, which obviously isn't fair because my tax return inflated it, but was $6,470.43. My goodness, if I was able to lay into this debt and have that waiting for me, holy moly, we'd be done in no time. My worst month was December, which I started to talk about, and it was $812.34. I'm hoping to pick it back up in January, start the year off right, and be able to move forward. The last thing here is the average payoff amount, and so I just took this total here, divided it by 12, and got $1,690.62. Yeah, it should not. Decimals are fun. Loans are just funny that way, and averages are interesting. But so these are some of the things that I have here. So that really wraps up my overview of my debt payment for 2018. I thought this was really helpful for me to look at all the work I've done and all the work I still have to do, right? There's a lot of tightening up that I could take care of here and really be able to do a better job of getting out of debt and out of baby step 2. So I'm not gonna kick myself, I'm not gonna be mad about it. I'm gonna use that to focus on achieving my goals for next year. So hope this was helpful for you. Hope you're thinking of doing something similar. If you do, tag me on Instagram. It's @amanwiththeplans, or on Facebook, @amanwiththeplans. We have a page over there. I have a website now, amanwiththeplans.com, blog, good stuff like that. If you have any other requests for videos, go ahead and leave them in the comment box down below. I make new videos every Monday and every Wednesday, and until next time, bye planner friends.